What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? Wrath2501 here. Okay, this is another interesting video from a tanker's view. This is a tanker's view on the Leman Russ tank. Okay, we did the Bane Blade before. So, yeah, let's check this one out. I'm actually kind of curious, because most of the weapons in 40k are completely impractical, stupid. So let's see what he has to say about this. So let's go.
It is the 42nd millennium. For more than 100 centuries, the Emperor of mankind has sat immobile on the golden throne. Yeah, I know, we've heard it all before. I'll save you the rest of the litany. Well, it's that time. A viewer requested me, a tanker's view, to take a look at the mighty Imperium of Man's mighty Leman Russ battle tank. And, well, I'm going to give it to you because nothing gets the algorithm off quite like a 40k vid. So,
there you go.
Let's get on with it.
I don't know, my 40k videos don't do too well, but
But, before I begin, did you know exactly 0 of you are subscribed with notifications on? Well, you know what you can do to help a dude out? Click that sub button, maybe tap the thumbs up.
You really shouldn't do this before the video's even started, okay?
Next,
I mean, you haven't really given me anything to want to subscribe yet, dude.
The Leman Russ battle tank is the most common tank in the Astra Militarum. Now, if you're not familiar with 40k or 40k terms, that's okay. I'm going to put some bad translations on the screen up here and do my best to talk in normie for you. Now, the pattern was originally developed back in the dark age of technology using an STC, but the design was lost during the Age of Strife, being rediscovered by the 6th Legion Space Wolves. And the Mechanicus honored the 6th by naming it after their Primarch. I'll give you 3 guesses to what his name was, but I bet you'll only need one.
Leman Russ.
So before I go any further, I'm going to lay out some caveats and general disclaimers so I can preempt the keyboard commandos waiting to harangue me for attempting to crap on the Imperium of Man's most popular tank. Because there's no fandom more polarizing as the 40k faction fandom. When it comes to faction love...
I would like a moment for rebuttal,
anyway,
because there's a lot of fandoms out there that are like rabid Wolverines.
Yes, I know it's completely unfair and unrealistic, but so is 40k, alright?
Yeah.
They're plastic toys, for Pete's sake. And anyway,
there you go.
The whole point is to see whether or not, if it's evolved or de-evolved compared to what we're doing today, and what the Imperium could maybe be
most likely
better.
de-evolved.
So, and finally, it's only an opinion. So, and it's also only for entertainment.
The only ones who have
values,
some
so
practical shit in 40k, I think, are the Tau.
Appreciate it. So, with all of that out of the way, let's talk specs and size, shall we? Clocking in at 60 tons, it is the same, give or take, as a standard main battle tank of today, within an acceptable margin of error. Now, so far, so good. They are on average 7.08 meters, or 23 freedom units long, 4.86 or 16 freedom units wide, and 4.42 or 14.5 freedom units high. This makes this twice as big as a standard main battle tank, while being approximately the same weight. This is achieved through warp magic fuckery known as plasteel, a common enough trope in every sci-fi universe.
Yeah.
And for that reason alone, I will let it slide. Because, of course, even the back-asswards Imperium of Man can manufacture metamaterials. Take a look at Auramite, Ceramite, and so on and so forth, with power armor. Now, I am well aware that the Russ has an inertial dampener to allow for the tank's ability to fire on the move stabilized. So that negates this thing actually flipping over on its side if it wanted to fire a broadside, given how tall it is compared to how wide it is. Believe it or not, we actually tried something, not us, but Sweden, I believe, tried something similar to this earlier with an M60 patent. And the results were just as you would imagine. Anyway, because one thing we all know, though, shit breaks all the time in 40k. Just because you didn't pray at it right. Or because you used the wrong sacred oils. So, if
they
that
think that's why it breaks, but they don't know.
20,000-year-old technology just happens to break on the fly, your fire arcs are going to get limited real quick. And it's a bit of an overlooked flaw for the Mechanicus, but those toasters aren't going to fuck themselves, are they, boys?
Indeed.
You filthy degenerates. Anyway, a basic bitch crew of 4 is required to run this, with that number increasing based on the variant and however many extra weapons this thing is mounting, such as the sponson-mounted heavy bolters. So, also packing a V12 engine that can literally run on anything from Promethium to Amasec. It's got a pretty decent range, all things considered, at 360 kilometers, moving between 35 and 21 kilometers an hour on and off-road, respectively. With some tanks being reported being able to go up to 70 kilometers per hour. And I'll be completely honest, that ain't much better than anything that's going on today. So it's pleasing to see that military R&D and procurement still sucks
crawling
in the
around
darkness of the far future.
3 feet an hour.
And it is also sporting a fully enclosed, full-hull rhomboidal track system. And that took a lot to get out correctly this time. Anyway, all in all, this thing looks like someone slapped a comically oversized turret on a Mark IV tank from World War I and said, good enough.
Yeah.
And, well, to be honest with you, that's really the aesthetic that 40K is going for, in case you haven't guessed. Someone's making happy shovel noises in the background. I just bet right now. Anyway, but you shouldn't be surprised when units look like this, and this, and this. All right, moving on to guns, and boy, oh boy, does 40K love its guns. The primary battle cannon for the Russ is a 120mm smoothbore gun, wrapped in a water jacket to allow for an increased rate of fire. But depending on the variant, it can have twin-linked auto guns, twin-linked heavy bolters, twin-linked las cannons, twin-linked Punisher guns, the Punisher gun, flamers, twin-linked Volkite guns. You get the idea. But if I focused on each one of these, this thing would turn into a looting video before I could even imagine. So I'm just going to look at the venerable basic bitch Russ tank. 120mm is the same as current arsenals of today's armies. Now, the range and lore is about the same within a reasonable margin of error, and as well as the general penetration powers, again, within acceptable levels of skill. And for the love of Saint Celestine's golden bustier, everyone already knows that it's more advanced. But G-Dubs isn't exactly in the habit of going that deep into the technical lore of ammunition. They just say, the mechanicus guards their secrets. You know why? Because they leave it up to us to come up with this shit on our own. Anyway. So this thing has up to 4 more guns. The bow mounts, 2 sponson mounts, and a crew commander's gun on top. And this is often fitted out with crew-served weapons, as is on main battle tanks of today. So, las cannons, heavy bolters, heavy flamers, giving this vehicle 360-degree coverage, with only really doubling up on the flanks and going full tilt in the first 90 degrees of frontal coverage. But it still gets 360-degree all around, and that's, well, good enough. Now that's a lot of guns. Guess what? That requires a lot of ammo. Now this thing packs 40 main gun rounds with an average of 600 rounds of either bolter or auto gun ammunition. Realistically, again, this is the same as contemporary tanks. Quick aside here, for a tank I'm supposed to be ripping a new one, I really am having a hard time finding a lot of faults in this thing. The main gun is linked to all manner of OSPEC suites to get
the ammo, the gun and ammo, that's
laser
fine.
rangefinders, terrain mapping, and crosswind indicators and radar. And it's likely, if not the same, is slightly different to contemporary ballistic computers, which all do currently the same thing, right down to how much the barrel droops in between shots. You know what? In conclusion, yeah. The Imperium's design philosophy is stagnant as hell. It's a selling point of the game, for Pete's sake. And aside from its proportions, there's not a whole lot wrong with its design. Its over-the-top size has got to do with more of an artistic license than the design of a competent military-industrial complex. If I were to improve this design for the Imperium without being declared a tech heretic and turned into a servitor, I would increase its length by about 1 meter, drop its profile about 25 to 30%, so just in case those fancy 20,000-year-old inertial dampers happen to go down because you didn't give it the right oils of the day, you won't go flipping over firing broadside. But aside from these very minor changes, believe it or not, the Leman Russ is actually a fairly competent tank. And it makes a lot of sense even within its own universe. It's mass-producible, it's allegedly simple to fix mechanically, and interchangeable with a wide array of the Imperium's arsenal. So against my better judgment, and because I'll have nothing more than a nothing burger controversy, I'm going to give G-Dubs a slow clap for getting one right once in a while. Good job, G-Dubs.
Love the slow clap meme.
Good job. Anyways, guys, if you like this content and you want to see some more, hit the old sub button. Maybe give me the old thumbs up. And it'd be real swell if you did. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
And he's like, disappears. Okay. Oh yeah, they got one for the Malcador. Alright guys, so there you go. The Leman Russ tank. Pretty decent tank, just a little bit too tall. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought it was cool. I thought that was pretty informative. I mean, given the specs he was listing out, I mean, it's basically just a modern tank. That's it. Other than its height, it's just a modern tank. So let me know what you guys thought. Say so in the comments. Tell me what you guys thought of it. Like this video, subscribe. Definitely click on the link to the original in the description. Like and subscribe over at A Tanker's View. Alright, like his original video and sub to him. And don't forget to check out my game channel and my shorts channel. Link to those in the description as well. I'll see you guys next time. Tune in every day for new content. Bye-bye.